We're going to be talking about Shopify this morning. Hi,
Hi,
Ria
Ria.
Sells. How's work going? How's work this morning? Actually, just reminded me, I don't remember if I responded to your text last night. I got really, really busy with this branding service that we were providing now. So I'm sorry if I didn't respond, but I'm so glad you are back. Or maybe I did respond. How's everything going, you guys? How is your Thursday morning going? I love Thursday because it reminds me that Friday's coming the next day. Although during quarantine time, like, are you even keeping track of days?
I am. I mean, on weekends, you get to sleep in a little bit longer, so that makes a difference.
Yeah, plus we're still working our day jobs, so it's like a week,
Yeah.
Weekdays are weekdays for us, right?
Yeah.
But we did want to talk about the platform Shopify. It's a really unique platform, and a lot of us resellers are not on Shopify. I mean, we're on Shopify, but we haven't really seen many people talk about it.
Yeah, we haven't.
We've been uploading our products on Shopify. Okay, so sorry about our really bad connection there. Good morning, Bill from 324 Finds. How you doing today? How's Washington? Where we are now, it was 71 degrees on my walk this morning.
It's so hot, yeah.
It's way too hot.
Yeah.
So back to Shopify. So Shopify is just a selling platform. It's most comparable to like Amazon, but it's really cool because you get your own domain name and you can sell your products on your website. So if you guys have any questions during this live, there is a little question mark sticker on the bottom that you guys can hit for comments and questions, and we can display those so everyone can see them. So 324 Finds, Bill says it's sunny today in Washington, but it rained all day yesterday. So rain's good, right? That's why you guys have so much beautiful greenery in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about what it is, how does it work, who is it for, what are the pros and cons. Do you think resellers should use Shopify?
They have to be ready for it.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know how to answer that question.
Something to work your way up to. Hello, DJ Ristina. How you doing?
Good morning.
What you up to today? All right, so let's go to our next picture there. By the way, we have a webinar. It's going to be free on Saturday at 12 p.m. Michelle's working on getting the ad out for that, but it's going to be on OfferUp. So if you are interested in learning more about OfferUp and selling on there, we're going to be doing a free webinar on Saturday. So, and it will be at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So what is Shopify, Michelle?
So for those of you who, depending on really what your goal is, if you are a part-time seller and you're, getting serious and you want to like start a real business, I think Shopify is a really good way to start. If you, don't want a lot of more work, you want to rely on eBay and reselling platforms like Mercari, that's another route. It's less maintenance, but I think Shopify is a very, very user-friendly tool for those who want to set up an online store. So Shopify is a complete, fully hosted e-commerce solution that enables you to set up an online store to sell your products.
I just wanted to say hello to YHBMail08 and Fabulous Fashion for You. Thanks for joining us this morning.
And the website assists you to organize your products, customize your storefront, accept credit card payments, track and respond to orders. So it's literally like your own store, your own eBay store, except that there's a lot of pros to it. So I'm going to go through that later. It works the same way as a reseller. You take photos, you upload your images, you put in the description. And the coolest thing is you can design your website. So, if you're like our website is flippinggals.com, you could design how it looks. And another cool thing is it's not just a store. You could put in a lot of content. So if you have videos, you have podcasts, you have whatever content you want to share, that's also it's basically your own website. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, well, as Michelle was saying, you just upload your pictures. And then I'm sure we've all shopped on a website and bought products before, and probably Shopify was behind it. They make it look so professional. You don't have to worry about setting up payments and stuff. They do that for you. And how does shipping work? Well, it's the same thing as if you sell something on eBay. You'll get a notification that you sold something, an email, and then they provide the shipping label for you, and they even have discounted shipping prices. So it's like Michelle said, it's very much like selling on eBay or, Etsy or Poshmark.
And you could keep track of your customers. So it automatically generate a customer email list. So you have the option to send them a newsletter if you want. So it's a really good tool.
Yeah, because one advantage to Shopify is that it does generate the email and contact information. So like Michelle said, another way to sell things is through email marketing. So once you have a list of people's email addresses, then you could start sending things out like promotions or coupons, or let people know that there are new products coming in. And you would be surprised, but a lot of people are still shopping through the email, through emails that they get, especially Generation X.
And especially now, I bought some stuff on Levi's because of
Good
email.
morning, Trishman99. How you doing? Because of email. Yeah, we do that all the time. Every time we get an email announcement from one of our favorite stores that has sales,
like J. Crew,
we start shopping on their website.
Yeah,
we do that all the time.
So it still works, especially nowadays.
So again, it works for Generation Xers. Generation X are those who were born. Do you remember the dates exactly? It's like 1965 to 1981. That's Generation X. And they're like the hybrid generation, so they're they can work with technology, but they love shopping through email. So this would be great for them. And we're Generation Y, which is also known as the millennials, and we're more like technologically, I don't know how you call it, savvy. I don't know. It comes easy to us, but we like to shop through email too.
What generations are you guys from?
Put your generations down below if you know what they are.
So, the first time I heard about Shopify is actually through Kylie Jenner's store. She probably triggered a lot of new users for Shopify because of the success of her store. So, as you guys know, hi, Boomer. As you guys know, that she has a cosmetic line, Kylie. And she basically, of course she has her team, her own team. And basically they took a template, because Shopify have different templates and themes, and she started her store through Shopify. And she is now the youngest billionaire in, I don't know, the world or the U.S., but she's apparently worth $900 million. 900, yeah.
Well, she's a billionaire.
No, she's a billionaire, but her store, basically here, the first 3 years of her store, she's made $420 million. Wow. And then in addition on her, she has like the Kardashian show and everything. So she is worth over $900 million in less than 3 years from the store, basically.
Yeah,
which
and
is
I think
crazy.
For the second time in a row, second year in a row, she's been the world's youngest billionaire.
Yeah,
which is super amazing. It is definitely Shopify's biggest success story. But actually, if you go on Shopify, they have a lot of articles of success stories. They are so inspiring and amazing. If you are, like we talked about Etsy yesterday, if you are already an Etsy seller, that's kind of a natural transition to Shopify.
Yeah.
Because
it's pretty much the same.
Yeah, because as we talked about yesterday when we're discussing Etsy, and you can catch that on our podcast if you missed it, but most of our customers on Etsy come from the app.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so if you don't want to depend on Etsy for your customers, then you can open up a Shopify store and get your own customers who would be loyal to you.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to be talking about the Shop app anytime soon? Or?
No.
Okay.
No.
So one more thing that Shopify rolled out with last year. Oh, I love this. So, okay, so two of you said you are Generation Boomers, Rhea sells, and 324 finds is Generation Old. I like that. That's awesome. All right. So they came out with an app called Shop. And Shop is very similar to Amazon. So you can download it if you have iOS or Android. And basically, you just look for the items that you want to buy, and they include your store in there. So they are helping you market your store and your products, which is so amazing. I can't wait to see where this goes in a few years. Are you going to talk about the fulfillment?
Okay.
No.
There's so much to talk about. I think this is just to give you guys an overview as to what Shopify is. Is it something that you could utilize? What are the advantages and disadvantages? You could have many live sessions talking just about Shopify.
Yeah, and as you can see, you can have a multi-million-dollar business or just a small mom and pop, so you can take it wherever you want. One more thing that they added in 2019 was a fulfillment center. So now Amazon, Walmart, and Shopify, they have fulfillment centers. What does that mean? Well, it means that you can send your products to them, and when there's an order that's been purchased, they will ship it for you. So we love that because it saves a lot of time.
And you don't have to store the items.
Hello, when girl meets thrift. How you doing this morning? Thanks for joining us.
So we just want to showcase, a couple of options. Obviously, there's way more, but you could write a blog on your website through Shopify, so it's not just a store for you to sell items. You could put a lot more content in there, and then here is a screenshot where you could see there's flexibility with how you want to design your store. So this is when branding comes in, is you want to make sure that, your colors of your brand are being used, the fonts are being used. And this is something that eBay won't be able to do and Etsy won't be able to do because they have their own, template and their own site. So they are the brand, but with Shopify is you are your brand. Basically.
Yeah, I mean, I think on eBay and Poshmark, you can put your background picture.
Yep.
Right, but you're limited just to that.
Very limited. Yeah.
Whereas here, if you want to put another page, we recently started selling digital products on our website, so we have an ebook that we've been promoting called Top 20 Reseller Mistakes to Avoid, and we're able to put that on Shopify, and somebody purchases the ebook and they automatically get it delivered into their email box for download. So, I mean, it's really, really flexible. The sky's the limit with it.
And then here's a screenshot of how you upload products. So essentially, it's the same. You could put in tags, you could put in title. There is no limit with the characters, so that's another cool thing. You put in your description. It keeps track of your inventory, so you could, if you're using just one platform like Shopify, it keeps track of every inventory. And once it's out of stock, it won't sell anymore. It would just say sold out. So so that's another cool thing.
Yeah, which is cool. I mean, Poshmark does that. Everybody does that.
Yeah.
eBay,
Yeah, but
everybody does that too. So it is similar to that. Another really cool thing about Shopify is that they have app integration. So, for example, let's see here. I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, I remember. So if you want to do sell merchandise, like T-shirts with your logo, or you want to make a shirt that says, I love thrifting on it or something, you can just do that very easily by integrating apps like, what's the name of that?
Printful.
Yeah, Printful, which would, somebody would place an order through your website. Then Printful is a third-party company that just prints things on T-shirts and hats, mugs, and things like that. So you can actually even sell merchandise on there because they have all these different apps and ways for you to do that.
So Printful is another whole discussion. It is another service where you don't have to store items. You don't have to, you don't have any cost, basically. All you need is a design, a T-shirt. And if someone buys it, they ship it for you.
Yeah, so that's one way you can get started with Shopify also.
Yeah.
That's a very simple way to do that.
So here's a pricing structure. As I think a lot of you have eBay accounts, there is a subscription fee. So for Shopify, it's a basic store is $30 a month.
That's what we pay.
That's what we pay, and I think it's enough if you don't have a lot of items and you don't have a lot of traffic. I think that's enough, and then it goes up to 300. So depending on your needs, depending on what you want on your website, we think it's fairly reasonable because there is no commission when you sell something. The only fees they have would be credit card transaction fee. So that's pretty much it.
So do they pay or do you pay for the fee?
We pay.
We pay for it. Okay, which is 2%. You said.
Yeah.
About.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still worth it.
It's still worth it for us. Yeah.
Totally. No, so here's a question. Is Shopify for you? So we jumped into Shopify quite early, and we had no idea what we were getting into.
Yeah, we didn't know how to use the platform.
I think we just jumped into it. And so the answer is basically, how many products do you have? And what kind of products too? If you have something really like a J. Crew t-shirt or just like something, not super unique that when people search, they're probably not going to land into your page, then maybe Shopify is not for you. But if you have really unique vintage items, or if you have really cool handcrafted items, or something that you think when people Google search, they could find you, then Shopify is for you.
Can I jump in on that? So I agree half with Michelle. Right? So we've had some luck in that people were able to search for items and find us online, and they were unique vintage items. So that's definitely an angle. But also, like I mentioned earlier, Shopify, you really want to do email marketing. You want to collect emails and send people emails of sales of your items, and people are shopping like that. So I would invite, that's a different way to get clients and customers. It's a little bit more work than just like uploading something onto a platform and leaving it and waiting for someone to buy it. Yeah. So this is a little bit of a game changer, but the beauty of doing that is that you get a lot of repeat customers, and you can grow a real business like that. With loyal customers that you write blogs to. You feed them a little more than your products. You feed them like a whole experience.
Yeah.
And so in that way, if you do have a lot of common items, it doesn't matter because, people are going to your store because they like you and they want to buy from you and your items.
Yep. If you guys have any questions, click on the little question mark button. We're happy to answer any questions you have. So the next thing is, do you have an organized inventory system? If you don't have a super organized inventory system, I wouldn't recommend opening a Shopify store until you get there. Because I think that's with any platform, but especially more for Shopify because it is your own store. You're not going through a third party. And so it's important that you keep track of what you have, and you don't want to disappoint any buyers who went to your store, because if someone went to eBay and there was, you're out of stock of something, it's okay because it's through eBay, but if it's through your store, they may never come back again. Right?
Yeah, that's true. You want to be a lot more careful. All right. So pros and cons. Sorry?
Did
I miss one? Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
So the next thing is, how strong is your brand? So the best thing to do is for people to go to your website. You direct them to your website. If Flipping Gals, let's say, if you Google search our name, it takes you directly to our store. And if people know of our name and they know what we sell and what we do, there's a stronger likelihood that people would go to your store directly. So it really depends on how strong your brand is. And do you have time to manage your store? So, we talked about like content. If you want to include content to your store, if you want to update all the inventory, it takes time to manage your store because you want to make sure you provide a good experience to your customers, and you want to provide an up-to-date experience too. If you're writing a blog and you're not writing it for a year, but that blog is still there from last year, then maybe you need to take more time on managing the store.
Yeah. either like take the blog out completely or make sure that you're updating it every month or regularly. All right, good stuff, Michelle. So what are some pros and cons to having a Shopify store?
So pros, we talked about it. It's very easy to use. You could design your own store. So I think that helps with building a brand. There's flexibility. So, it's very, flexibility goes back to design, goes back to inventory, goes back to, you could put content in there. You could put anything you want on there. It's not just eBay.
Just really quickly, just want to say hello to Dahlia Willow Co. Thanks for joining us this morning. And Chef Lizette, how's everything going this morning? Where are you guys from? And good morning, my web promos. We have a question. Chef Lizette says, how are sales doing during COVID? So that is a good question. Some sales have dropped a little bit. Some sales have maintained the same, and some sales have actually increased. So it really just depends what you're selling. Definitely the things that are selling now are very different than what was selling before COVID. Shout out to New York City. How's New York City doing? We know you're like kind of in the middle of the battle over there. How's everything going over there? And good morning, Six Creative Concept. Thanks for joining us this morning. So we're talking about Shopify today. If you guys have any questions about Shopify, there's a little question mark sticker at the bottom of your screen. Go ahead and submit it there so we could display it with everyone. So Chef Lizette says, can you give an example of what's working right now? Yes, puzzles are working, games are working.
Games, yeah.
Anything, parents right now, so we're going to veer off for a quick second, but we'll be back to the pros of Shopify. But now what has changed is that children are home, and this has been basically a nightmare for parents. And so parents are scrambling for ways to entertain their children. So any kind of entertainment for kids, book sets, like the Harry Potter book sets, those are flying off the shelves. Like puzzles, games, educational, things that for kids to keep them busy. Sorry.
Vintage electronics, so VHS players, any video camcorder that you could find. People are looking for them because they're going through their old home videos and watching them, and I'm sure a lot of their machines don't work or they don't even have a player anymore.
Video games are doing really well right now. People are playing the new things like Nintendo Switch, but they're also playing, like Michelle said, all the vintage games. People are buying televisions, old vintage televisions. You can buy all of these items, no joke, on OfferUp and on Facebook Facebook Marketplace?
Yeah.
Yeah, and look at your neighborhood apps. So
VHS players.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways you can make a lot of money right now. Another one thing before we continue is educational things. People are reading up. People are taking time to learn. And this is not in vain because reading up and staying up to date is what's helping businesses thrive right now. So, all right, yeah, our pleasure. All right, so
another pro for Shopify is scaling. Like you could see Kylie Jenner, she has a multi-million-dollar business, and you could do that on eBay. But think about the commission that eBay is going to take from you if you make $100 million. So scaling, there's flexibility. You could scale on Shopify, and there's support. Customer support is amazing. I actually didn't learn everything for Shopify, so I just called customer support instead of Googling on forums. I've been on the phone with them for over an hour because they're training me on the phone, which is really awesome, and it's free.
Yeah, I have to say that is a huge plus in comparison to Amazon, because we also saw on the Amazon platform, and it's a hit or miss when it comes to support for us, right, the sellers. But like Michelle said, the support for sellers on Shopify is out of this world. They go above and beyond. I was actually coding a page on there, so I have some experience with coding and programming. And I ran into an issue, so I called them. The customer support person happened to know some code, and he was able to help me immediately and fix the issue right then and there. So they're amazing. They're the best of the best. All right, is that it for the pros?
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna check out some cons of selling on Shopify.
So the disadvantage is the URL structure is basically you have to follow a template. You can't do whatever you want, but there are certain templates. So for example, if you don't know how to code, then
that's a good thing.
It's a good thing that it's helping you.
But have a template for
But you have to stick to a template.
Yeah, you have to stick to
not one. I mean, they have many. Compared to websites like Wix and Squarespace, Shopify is really focused on how to help you sell your products.
Yeah. So in other words, like we mentioned earlier, it's very scalable, right? You can make it a multi-million-dollar company or just a small mom and pop. For us, small mom and pops, they have templates, so you don't have to know how to code or anything like that. But if you decide to grow into a multi-million-dollar company, then you can hire coders to do whatever you want and design your site. All right. So transaction fees, is that a con?
It's a con. I mean, if we could, if we could have our own store without any fees, that would be ideal. But
the 2% fee you're talking about.
Yeah,
right?
it's a credit card transaction fee, and a subscription fee could be a con. But you know what? $30 a month is really nothing.
Not for everything they provide,
No.
including the customer support. Plus, 2% transaction fee is still cheaper than most other platforms charge to sell items on their platform. So I think it's still not bad.
So the next thing is the multi-language store. Basically, Shopify is worldwide, and sometimes there are, if you're in another country, you're limited basically to sticking to a certain template that offers for certain languages. So that's a con. Migration, meaning it's not really easy to move your store to another platform. So let's say you're done with Shopify and you want to move everything to eBay. It's not going to be an easy thing to do.
Or even if you're done with Shopify, you want to move it to another website, domain and stuff like that, that would be difficult to do. So
and then App Store is sometimes when you have features you want to add to your store, you have to pay extra for that. So the cons are not really bad because if you get to own your own store and that you don't have to pay fees like eBay charges you, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's really not bad at all. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just how it is. When you download a program on your phone, an app on your phone, they have in-app purchases, so it's very similar to that.
Another con is one more thing is that you want to make sure you build your brand before you open your store, because you're going to have to do some digital marketing and keywords, SEO, and making sure that people can find you, because if you need to make sure you're driving traffic to your website, because it's easy to go on eBay and look for a product. It's easy to go on Etsy and look for a product. It's not easy to go to your website if your SEO is not there.
So I have to say though that's getting into marketing, and maybe we'll do something on marketing one of these days, but there are different creative ways to get your name out. So like we mentioned earlier, it's a different monster. Like you can't just rely on SEO. I mean, I'm sure you can, but it would be very smart of you to try to market in different ways, like do influencer marketing, right? Like give people something for free that they could talk to their audience about, so you can collect email addresses and send promotions to them. So yeah, awesome. All right, so I know that was a lot. Sorry we got into kind of a lot of detail, but we hope that really gave you an idea overall what Shopify is about. It's not something that you want to jump into just, without doing some research. But if you are thinking about expanding your store and your reselling game, it is definitely something to consider. You're welcome to check out our store, flippinggals.com, just to get an idea of what it looks like. And you're also welcome to DM us if you guys have any questions later on that come up about doing business on Shopify or selling things on Shopify. So good morning, The Corner Co-op. Thanks for joining us this morning. How are you doing today? All right. That was good.
I hope that was educational. It's a lot of information. Shopify I'm still learning, and it takes so much time to actually open up the store, keep track of your inventory, creating all the categories for your store. So it's work, but once you have everything set up, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon's work too, but everyone sells on there, right? My web promo says, I used to run and host my web promos website when I had it on a website similar to Shopify. I want to keep the domain, but I think I won't be able to. I wonder why not. I wonder why you wouldn't be able to keep that domain. And so what was similar to Shopify? We know like WordPress has something similar to Shopify. Yeah, but WordPress I don't even want to get into. That's some crazy stuff I don't want to get into. Yeah. Well, and it's old too.
Here's another fun fact. After COVID happened, their sales, Shopify, in April shot up. Like if you look at their stock, for anyone who's interested in stocks, look at their stocks. They went up pretty much 2,000% almost in 5 years, which is insane. So this is a growing company. This is going to be supposedly the next Amazon. So look out for, for that service that they provide. I think they're a great company. Yeah.
The Corner Up said, doing well. Thanks so much. Getting my daily dose of some ideas from y'all. Oh, yeah. Make sure to check out the replay. We are actually coming to the end of our live this morning. I pretty much finished this entire large cup of coffee. Thanks, Michelle. It was very delicious today. And the replay will be available for 24 hours on IG, but we will also be uploading that to our podcast, the Flippin' Gals podcast, so you can listen to it for forever. So good morning, Sig's Creative Concepts. Or actually,
good morning,
she said,
Sarah Styles.
Very informational. Thanks. Day by day we go. You're so helpful. Thanks for the compliments. Like we're humbled by your compliments. It makes us feel really happy that we're helping you, even with ideas. Good morning, Sarah Styles LLC. How's Colorado treating you this morning?
Yola.
Oh, my web promo says her business was called Yola, her website. Cool name. And the Corner Co-op said, figured we were a little late. We'll check that out.
Yeah, awesome. So today we talked about Shopify. What is it? Who is it for? You hear the name probably all the time. I had no clue what it was until I looked into it. The pros and cons of Shopify. Is it really for you? So if you just joined, check out this live. There's a lot of educational information in here.
And Sarah Styles LLC says, nice, weather's great here. Awesome. Glad to hear it. It's a little bit too hot here in Southern California for us. Yeah. We're melting.
We have our AC on now all day.
All right. Well, we're going to sign off now. And we just want to say thank you again for joining us. And we will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful Thursday and Friday Junior.